4 years, 7 months, 20 days back, in a bustling university classroom, amidst the hum of students' chatter and the anticipation of a new semester, Sicil entered as a latecomer. Her arrival sent ripples of curiosity among the male students, each trying to decipher ways to initiate conversation with this new entrant. Sicil's aura exuded confidence and an air of nonchalance as she settled into the unfamiliar surroundings. Her spirited demeanor and quick-witted replies were unmatched, leaving many in awe of her charm. Meanwhile, Ethan observed her from a distance, intrigued by her lively presence and the effortless way she navigated the room. He could not help but notice the spark in her eyes, a reflection of her spirited nature. Whispering to a friend behind his desk, "Newcomer alert, Sicil, right?" Nodding, his friend said in a laid-back tone, "She is not your type, so keep your fashion critiques to yourself." As fate would have it, the professor assigned Sicil to share a desk with Ethan. Their seating arrangement marked the inception of a remarkable friendship, an alliance between two kindred souls. Ethan, with a friendly smile, welcomed Sicil. "Bonjour, I am Ethan. I hope your French is better than mine." Returning the smile, she said, "Salute, I am Sicil. And don't you worry, my French is passable. I can survive." Playfully, he acknowledged. "Survival is all we need in this class. So, what brings you to our little slice of academia?" With a smirk, she replied, "The pursuit of knowledge, of course." And then she whispered, conspiratorially, "Or just escaping boring lectures. Take your pick." "A seeker of wisdom, I see. Well, you have landed in the right place," said Ethan laughingly. Sicil raised an eyebrow, leaning in slightly. "Is that so? Are you the wise sage around here then?" she teased, eyes sparkling. Ethan chuckled, feigning modesty. "I wouldn't say sage, but I do have a talent for napping in the back without getting caught. A skill, if I may say so." She laughed, clearly amused. "Ah, the survival tactic of the truly enlightened. Maybe I am in the right place after all." "You'll be an expert in no time," Ethan replied, grinning. "But hey, if you ever get bored with wisdom seeking, we do have a class competition for the most creative daydreamer." Sicil crossed her arms, pretending to consider. Daydreaming, you say? I might just give you a run for your money." "Oh, a challenger! Well, we do need new talent to keep things fresh around here," he winked. "But in all seriousness, if you need any tips for surviving this place, I got you." "Appreciated, Ethan," Sicil smiled. "I'll take you up on that. Maybe we can swap tips for avoiding boredom and not getting caught." Ethan grinned. "Deal. Who knows? We might just make it through this semester with some dignity intact. Or at least some entertaining stories," Sicil added, a playful glint in her eyes. "Definitely entertaining." "Looks like I've found my partner in crime," Ethan replied, his smile growing warmer. Sicil chuckled softly. "You might regret that, Ethan. I'm known to be full of surprises." He raised his hands in mock surrender. "I'll take my chances. Surprises keep things interesting, right?" "Absolutely," Sicil nodded, the air between them light but already beginning to feel like the start of something more. As their conversation flowed, the French professor, Monsieur Laurent, cleared his throat loudly, calling the class to order. "All right, mes étudiants. Today we will test both your French and your theatrics. We begin our recitation of As You Like It by William Shakespeare, en français, bien sûr." The class collectively sighed, a mix of nervous chuckles and groans filling the room. Monsieur Laurent held up the French-translated copy of the play, scanning the room like a hawk. "Let's start with Ethan." Ethan, mid-laugh with Sicil, froze. His smile quickly faded as all eyes turned to him. He hadn't exactly been paying attention. Monsieur Laurent raised a brow. "Since you seem very engaged in conversation, perhaps you can share your wisdom with us by reading the first passage. Allez-y." Sicil couldn't help but grin at Ethan's sudden panic, whispering, "Oh, this should be good." Ethan shot her a mock glare before flipping open his textbook and quickly finding the passage. His heart raced as he scanned the French lines. He cleared his throat dramatically, playing up the moment. "Tout le monde est en théâtre et tous, hommes et femmes, ne sont que des acteurs." His pronunciation was clumsy but confident, drawing out a few chuckles from his classmates. Monsieur Laurent, arms crossed, gave an unimpressed look. "Not quite the performance of a sage, Ethan. Continue." Ethan smirked, leaning into the challenge. Et ils ont leurs sorties et leurs entrées. Et un homme, dans sa vie, joue plusieurs rôles. He stumbled slightly over the words, but his dramatic flair earned him a few more laughs, even a small smile from the professor. Sicil, stifling a laugh, leaned over and whispered, "Not bad, Shakespeare. I didn't know you had a flair for the stage." Ethan grinned, lowering his voice as he closed the book. "I told you. Surprises keep things interesting. And hey, I survived. Your turn next?" Monsieur Laurent, overhearing, narrowed his gaze. "Sicil, since you are so eager, perhaps you will read the next part?" Sicil's eyes widened, caught off guard, but she gave Ethan a playful nudge before confidently opening her book. "Well, I did say I'm full of surprises." Ethan leaned back, ready to enjoy the show as Sicil began her passage, her pronunciation smoother than his, but with her playful tone. There was a growing ease between them, as if the distraction was just the beginning of their partnership in navigating the semester's challenges together, gradually paving the way for a connection beyond the classroom. Two minds aligned in spirit and zest found themselves sharing a bench, sparking off conversations that flowed effortlessly. Their interactions were laced with humor, wit, and a passion for lively discourse. The companionship between Sicil and Ethan blossomed from the very start, laying the foundation for a friendship that exceeded the ordinary.